Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to Nitro Licks. Today's lesson, Witchy Woman by Eagles. Okay, guys, let's get to it. We are in E standard tuning, and on the intro, you've got a guitar harmony. As you saw in the demo, I played both parts. That's difficult to do as one guitarist. Playing solo, I would assume you'd go with this part. Right, and that's B6 to B8, hammer on twice. That's your G7. And then double stops. 5 on D and G, 3, and then open. Maybe a little vibrato there, right? And then the lower part, you're gonna go. The tail of the riff's the same, but G2, B3, and then hammer on your G3, and then hit that again, and then bring your middle finger down to that D3, okay, and then okay. Those double stops are the same, and then you've got the so first time through, double stops go. Second time through. Okay, we've got the intro out of the way. Let's get into this main riff, what I think of as the main riff anyway. It's the one that goes. Right. I guess you're playing you're in that G minor shape, but you leave the E and the A string out, okay? So you're just gonna go start on that D3 and slide up to 5. And then a double stop twice. That's 3rd fret in your G and B string. Okay. And then grab that D5 again, and then double stop G and B again, but now you're on fret number 5. You're going to play that, pull off to that 3 again, like a ghost note, I guess is what you call it, and then hit that again, right? So slowly. Right? It's 2 different guitars on the recording, but it sounds great playing it by yourself. Okay, guys, we're on to the verse. Couple different tracks here. One's playing some chords with an acoustic in the background. We're just going to focus on the electric part. Like I said in the beginning, the guitar parts that people think of when they think of Witchy Woman, it'd be these stabs. Think of counting it that way too. Think of, well, first of all, so this chord, G minor, G12, B11, E10. And then the next one's I'm not sure, I guess kind of like an F, part of an F minor. And that's G11, and then a double stop on 10 on your top 2 strings. Okay, so those are the chords, but when you're counting it, think of it as you start off with your G minor, and you do that twice. And then go to that F minor 4 times. Right? Just think of it that way. So that's how I count it when I play it. It helps think of it that way because you'll notice as you make your way through the verse and you get to the chorus, you're going to do that twice before we get into the chorus. Okay? And on this chorus, we're there, it's pretty much the same. You're just... You know? Now there is another part behind that. If you have the luxury of 2 guitarists, you could have your other guitarist go. And that's behind the in the chorus. See? Right? All right, so that's the verse and the chorus. Okay, guys, let's talk about what I call the bridge. You'll know when you hear what part I'm talking about. It does it twice. The second time it does it, it leads straight to the guitar solo, which we'll get to, okay? It'd be easier for me to just demo it, and then we'll go from there. So the first one goes... Okay, so double stop on your 5th fret on G and B strings and bend it. Actually, maybe a pre-bend. Land on that D3. Slide from that 3 up to 7 on D. And then the G5. Or one of those. And then so double stop here, B5, or excuse me, G5, B6, and then that's a double stop on 7th fret on D and G, 5 or 7, down to 5, back to 7. And then move down a whole step. 5, 3, 5. Play that 3 again, and then land on that 5th fret on your A and D, a double stop. And then back to that initial double stop. Hit it, slide up a whole step, 2 frets. Okay, so the second time through that riff, it leads us right to the guitar solo. And it plays it twice this time with some variation. So I'm going to demo this out now, and you'll see what I mean, okay? Pretty similar to before, but see if you see the differences. Right? From there it goes into the guitar solo. We'll get to that. So you heard the difference. It starts off the same. And then here, we're going to bring that in. Before it was... But here we're going to go. Okay, end on that open double stop on D and G. Okay, then the second time we're going to go, so instead of, we're going to go, the rest was the same. So the first time you pre-bend, and then that second time, okay. All right. Hey, real quick, guys, hit that like button and or leave a comment if you're enjoying this lesson. All right, on to the guitar solo. Okay guys, so as you saw, coming out of that second time through the bridge, first phrase in the solo goes like this. Okay, let's start with that. 3 to 5 to 7 on G. Let's slide into the 7. And then B6 to B8. Once, twice. And then 3 full step bends on B8. So from there you got after the, you're gonna go G7 to G5, and then 5 to 3, and then D5 to D3, and then after you're gonna go okay, 3, back to 3, 5, and 7 on that G again. Back to that B6, and now slide into E8, down to E6. Okay, so like this. One more time, nice and slow. G3 to G2, 3 to 2 on D, back to that D3, and then slide from D3 to 5, grab that G3, and then okay, that's the guitar solo. Okay guys, I want to go over the final verse, reason being it's a little different than what we heard in the previous verses. So just let me demo it out, you'll hear what I mean, and then we'll go through it, all right? So the final time through in the verse it goes. We basically brought in like the C power chord, the B flat, and the G. Also the stab, a little different than the previous verses. The previous verses, remember we had that G minor, G12, B11, E10. But you hear that E10. And that's kind of what you want to accentuate. If I didn't mention that earlier, I should have. But here, we're not going to play that E10. We're just going to... You'll hear that in the recording. Okay, it's not as shrill. So, oh, excuse me. So, flat, right? And then the next time, you start with B flat. All right? That's the final time through the verse. All right, so I did want to go through the outro with you guys. There are some riffs we don't hear anywhere else in the song. I thought it'd be worth touching on. So first we've got this. This is when at the end where we're back to Witchy Woman, see how high she flies. Palm muting, E3, A5. And then we grabbed A3 and that E6. Right, and then okay, we went over that riff earlier in the song, but it was okay. And then we get this. Okay, and then we get this. Right. So those last two riffs, very similar, but the first one is one more time, nice and slow. B6, 7, 5, 7 on G. That's the D5. And then slide on B from 6 to 8. Okay? And then the last time through that riff, it goes similar to the riffs we've played before. And then slow it down. Double stop on 3 on A and D, and then that G power chord. And that is Witchy Woman by Eagles. Thanks for watching. If you haven't already, subscribe to Nitro Licks Guitar Lessons now.